Hey guys, welcome to Rolling Homestead, and today I want to go through a little care package that I got from Locked and Loaded, so stick around. Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to go through some of the things that I got from Locked and Loaded. He gave me a care package here. His wife actually painted this for us, and I thought this was really cool. Nice horse. She did that for Dawn. And then I got this this box, and SHTF Bartering Kit. I don't know what this is all about. Man, I wish Justin was here so I could ask him. Wait a minute, I can do that.
Fear no man, never fear death, get right with God, fight the good fight.
What are you doing here?
I'm making a video. What are you doing here?
Video.
You're making a video? I'm making a video.
Hey guys, that's right, Locked and Loaded is here. And I figured this would be an awesome time to go through this bartering kit, SHTF, and I'm going to actually have him explain it. But we spent the day here, and he can kind of tell you the things that are alike on the homestead here. You got a grand tour of everything, so give it away.
I'd have to tell you, by far, Rolling Homestead's garden and homestead, the videos do no justice. It looks 10 times bigger. It is 10 times bigger than it is on your videos. Phenomenal. Went through all these plants. He was making me eat all these, you know, picking this and eat this. I didn't know what this was. Just amazing the amount of
oh, the herbs.
The herbs, yeah, and flavorful. And it was really, really neat because we had lunch and got to pick stuff out of the garden, radishes, kale, was it kale?
Yep.
Yeah, kale and spinach, huge pieces of spinach. Excellent food, and the tour has been amazing.
What's really cool too is that goes to show how the back to Eden method works. Even though we're not at that point, we're still into the permaculture kind of thing. But it shows how much bigger the plants can be when they're fertilized correctly and they have the right nutrients and stuff like that. It's just amazing how the plants look. So it was kind of fun just to go and pick your own stuff and eat and ready to go.
To be able to walk out and grab stuff right out of the garden and bring it right in, rinse it off and eat it, and it tastes 10 times better than anything in the store. The radishes were amazing. The radishes you get at the store, they taste watered down. They don't. I mean, these were spicy.
They got that kick.
Yeah. So phenomenal stuff.
I want that Swiss chard. Wasn't that? That's just.
That was interesting. Never had it before, and not sure if I'll ever have it again.
The Swiss chard?
No, that was good. No, what was that one? That small one?
Oh, the wood sorrel. I gave
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that was a.
He doesn't like tart stuff, and since wood sorrel is kind of like rhubarb, and he doesn't like rhubarb, it was a trick thing to give him to him because he said he would never try that.
Yeah, and you chew it up for a minute, you don't taste it, and then bam, it's too late. It's already in your mouth, so you gotta suffer.
I just like lemon balm.
Fantastic.
And that's the thing, guys, is with lemon balm and some of these herbs that you can do, you can make refreshing drink, and that's what we do all summer long is lemon balm with water, ice, little lemon squirt in there, and it's awesome. And it's just some of the things that we grow on the homestead, because the whole theory behind the homestead is to what we harvest here is what we take in, and that's where all the nutrients and the minerals that we put into our soil. That's the whole concept behind that that we been making now for 2 years. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you're here. So one of the things we're going to do today is he gave me this bartering kit, and I figured, hey, this would be a great time to sit down and go through the kit, and then he can actually explain why he set this in there, because I went through the kit, and to me, I wouldn't put this as a bartering kit. I would like take this in my own stuff and I'd put something else like.
Well, it's cheap stuff, and the the times that we're living in, you can never be too safe, but it's common sense stuff that you can get cheap, you can buy in bulk, and you can set it aside, you can use it for yourself, have a large amount, but you always have an extra supply somewhere hidden, well hidden, and in a SHTF situation, economic collapse, EMP, whatnot, you know, you would have the means to barter, because currency, you know, the American dollar will be useless.
So in other words, don't put all your eggs in the same basket.
Yeah, absolutely. So some of the stuff's kind of funny, but it does have a purpose, and I put this together for Mark to open up, and you know, like I said, some of it's, you know, it'll make you laugh, but when you stop and really think about it, very useful.
One thing is that his wife painted this for Mellow Moon, and I think this is just awesome.
Yeah.
Great artist, and she loves it.
This painting she does with these acrylics, and it's layers and layers of paint, and then she uses an iron to bring up these bubbles. It's just amazing the stuff my wife does, but
it's really, really cool. It was kind of funny when I brought it home. I said, "Here's your gift," and she's like, "Whoa!" So it was really neat. So anyway,
all right,
let's get into your box.
People are gonna think we're crazy, but.
And guys, even though you know, as you're on a homestead, we do a lot of this stuff naturally. It's just an offset of a prepper, because everything that we put away for the winter, it'd be the same concept as here. It's just that we do it on a daily basis, and this is a great idea. And that's why I wanted to do this, is because a lot of times we don't actually put things away. We take it for granted that it's there. You know, I'll go downstairs and I got this. Okay, so now if something does happen, I'm running around with a basket going, oh, do I need this or do I need that? And he's got a really good point here, is because what happens when there is no money and you want to get some TP? What do? It's, you know, it's a great tool to say, hey, you got some rice, I got some toilet paper, you want to make a trade? Yeah. You know, that kind of concept. So it's a really cool idea. So,
and that's exactly what would happen in a bad situation, and we pray that that doesn't happen. But you know, like you said, this right here to somebody could be extremely valuable, and it doesn't. And in a situation when times are rough, it doesn't have to be the high quality. So you can go to the Dollar Tree or whatnot, and if you got storage, you know, buy a bunch of it. When you have, you know, the extra money, set it aside, and I guess we can.
Don't squeeze a Charmin.
Right. You know, here's a big one too, a lot of people don't think about. You know, when it comes to, even in a bad situation, they say that your morale, when you're clean and you're, you know, shaving, which I need to shave. Well, we were working today, so.
Yeah, me too. You know, actually, I thought like you're playing a joke on me. Like, what am I supposed to do with women razors?
If you had no razor and you needed to shave, or Mellow Moon needed, you know,
yeah.
you ran out of razors and you wanted to be clean, and you knew somebody that had a whole bunch of these, and you've got rice, you know, basically it's going to go back to the bartering situation, you know. It may be humorous to other people, but when you don't have something like this and you cannot find it, but you know somebody that has it, just one of these could be worth a bag of rice, or could be worth some.
Because technically, you think about it, how you feel, like you said, your morale.
Yeah.
Is especially for being in a service and being out in a bush for a week or two, you feel scummy, you gross. We used to carry them in our pockets, and then you'd be dry shaving, you know, and you'd be sitting there, and just that going across there to be, well, plus you had to be in the service, but you feel so much better, you feel cleaner, and everybody knows about a GI shower, stuff like that, just a soap and a washcloth. Just simple things like that, how much difference you feel, because you're in the bush all for a week or two, you're dirty, you're scummy. So I can really see where that's going to come in and say, hey, you know,
yeah,
really cool idea.
You know, and then you can find amazing sales and just, you know, make a giant cupboard or something and put it away. So another thing, this is what I said on one of my other videos, these candles here at the Dollar Tree, $1, and they have, I've timed each one, I've done several tests, and they burn clean and they burn straight for 58 hours. I timed it, 58 hours for $1. Then after when you're done, it's clean, it doesn't burn that black soot, so afterwards you've got something you can store.
A container, you got a water container, you got, you know, and what's cool about this is he's got more than that in there, so you have a heating source. You know, so you got a way to cook, or another thing too, when you're in a situation, light is a huge morale. Fire, you know, people kind of, when you're stuck, you're wet, you're damp, believe it or not, you get in a small area with a candle, it will give enough heat to make yourself comfortable. So it's a really good idea. And when I looked in there, I'm like, hey, you know, he's thinking here we got dual purposes here, and that's the whole part of this kit. Is I seen that there's more than just a little TP with toilet paper. There's a lot of stuff online you can see that you can actually do with toilet paper. Yep,
absolutely. And just some simple stuff going back to morale and staying healthy. Basically, toothpaste. If you didn't have toothpaste, what would you get for toothpaste? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, people when you run out, people that don't have anything. So, and here is a huge one for me, which I don't use this stuff, but coffee will be worth its weight in gold, or however you want to say it. You know, I have tons and tons of coffee stored away, and I don't know if I would use it as a bartering tool, but other people would. I would be trading for coffee. So coffee's a biggie. You know,
well, there's the other thing too, is they we'll teach you this fall with dandelion.
Right, the roots.
The root is you can make a substitute coffee, and but absolutely, hate to tell you, but instant was the first thing that went in my pack as I'm packing to go out in the field when I was in the service. It was the first thing, and it was kind of funny because a lot of the people, my first sergeants, other guys, we get to where we're going, and they're like, open up their MRE, and they have this little cup for 1 cup of coffee, and I pull out a bag of coffee because one is never enough.
Exactly.
So it's a good thing, and you know, it's a pickup. Not only that, is you're putting something warm in your system. When you're cold, you're damp, you're frustrated. It's nice to have that nice warm cup of coffee, warm cup of tea.
Absolutely.
The other thing for toothpaste, great to have. But there's an alternative. You can use things that you don't like, which is mint.
Yes, I'm not a fan of mint. You try to give me some mint in the garden, and I recognize it because my wife has some, and no. So, but yeah, but most people, I'm just saying that with the toothpaste, that
oh, that would be a huge hit. How many people walk around and their teeth are grummy?
Yeah, exactly. It's another morale boost. And it's you know, the hygiene. And here's another one, just the cooking fuel thing. Some more of the candles. Definitely.
So you got first aid right there.
Medical supplies. You know, you can get hydrogen peroxide and alcohol, you know, for yourself. And I know there's a lot of alternatives, healing. But when there's people in a situation, a collapse, that have wounds and stuff, no doctors.
And you think about, you're saying collapse, you have disease, you have bacteria, you know, when you got hydrogen peroxide, that's a good way of doing things. Another thing too is you're soaking wet, it's ice cold out. I don't know how many people have tried to light a fire when you got cold, you got wet wood, that other stuff. This here would be a lifesaver, because you know, even with this, if I had to, I would put this in my fire, because I know that this has, if I remember right, they got like a 20-minute burn time, 45-minute burn time on there. So what is that going to do? That's going to start your fire going, but it's also going to dry out your wood. So there's this right here would be huge in a situation where you're cold, you're wet, you need to warm up quick. You got to remember hypothermia, especially in our environment here, when we can get up to 30, 40 below. So this is all really good stuff. That's why when I said some of this stuff, I don't know if I'd be bartering with, because the fact that I would think is as a go-to if I was going to make my own bug out bag. This is in ours. I have the sticks of this, We have peroxide and stuff like that, so a lot of the same things that are here are actually in our go bags, and I think of them just for those multi-purpose reasons. You know, a little bit of toilet paper, a little of this, and a rock spark, and you got a fire.
Yeah, you got a fire, exactly. And like I said, that's, you know, you always make sure you have enough for yourself and your family, but if you see stuff on sale, grab it and just think, you know, even, you know, ibuprofen. I know you're not a big fan of it, but when you can find medicines, aspirins and stuff, when people...
That's probably going to, you know, that's be like gold.
Yeah, exactly. It's, you know, thinking outside of the box. You know, these things last, I think the date on it is 2022. But
that's
these
not
go,
spam, that's ham.
Yeah, these go 5 years past the date.
And the cool thing is, guys, is if you do use this, you have a container now that can go in a fire.
Yep.
You have a knife on the top when you open up this can and peel this back. This is razor sharp, so you can use this as a cutting device. Right. If you had to for you know, simple things. If you wanted to cut up your ham, most times people have a knife on them, but there is multi-purposes. It's not necessarily a trash thing. It's actually you have another cooking device here. If you're going to boil water, perfect example of that. There's a lot of different means for just this container alone, not even the substance that's in it.
Yep.
So that's and on here you're looking at, for fat, the 7 grams of fat. The sodium is 620, which is going to be, you know, you guys get dehydrated, you got your water intake, you got to have some kind of salt intake. Protein is 9 grams. That's a huge thing, because when you're down and out and you're on to go somewhere, you're constantly burning calories, and you need to put the good protein back in there to burn them bring them calories back to you.
Yep. And another thing too, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be surviving off of rice and beans, and something like this, you know, would be another
be a treat.
Know, yeah, a treat, morale booster, so to speak. I forgot all the stuff I put in there. Oh.
By the way, he's got like 2 more of these candles in there. Toothbrush.
Toothbrushes, you can get them on sale all the time. If you had 100 extra toothbrushes put away, you know, if somebody loses, you know, they're bugging out, they don't have nothing, and they need a toothbrush, and you need something, I don't know. These are just simple things that you don't think of, but when you don't have them, you wish you had. You know, there's times I would be, oh, I would kill to have, not literally kill, to have a toothbrush. And so, I don't know. That's just one of the things I thought. This is a biggie.
There it is.
Yeah, that's a biggie right there. You can explain that.
So not only do you, for your, when you are low, you're sweating. Okay, salt does 2 different things. Is it puts back in your, you need salt in your system for number 1. Number 2 is, this is for iodine. And I know there ain't that much in there, but it does have, it's 45% iodine. The other thing that this is really good for is curing meat. And if you go back, and there's things on YouTube on how to cure meat with salt, besides smoking it. So now if you're in a situation where you don't want to put out a fire, you don't want to have that kind of signal, you can actually cure your meat without actual flame. So this is very much a multi-purpose, and even though it hurts, there's some medical purposes behind this also.
Absolutely.
So this is another big hitter.
For open sores and such. These you can get online and stuff. The iodine potassium pills for nuclear fallout, but I think these are great. I've got a bunch of them. Is the water purifying tablets. So, you know, have plenty for yourself, but maybe, you know, somebody.
And what's really good for this is if you know how to purify your water yourself by making a improvised filter system, you can use this. This is going to be gold to somebody that can't do that. Exactly. And that's the other thing, is you got to look at your skill set. And if you can get by without using these and save them, and somebody that does need them, it's going to be a huge hit, because You know, we can live without food for 7 days. We can.
Oh, you can go almost a month without food as long as you got enough water.
Enough water, and that's the key. Is what's the old 7, 7, and 3?
Right.
You know, water is the key to everything, and this is going to be another big hitter. Not only that is, you think about it, if there's something going on, the water, and if you're looking at standing water in a puddle, if you're looking at a creek that has very slow flow. Back in the old days, I wouldn't have a problem drinking out of the creek, but I think nowadays I'm not.
No way, Jose. A couple more things. These are extremely cheap. The headlamps. You know, you don't have to get the ones that I use personally are more expensive, but you can get these for $1 a piece or whatever. But
we get them for Hunter because he always takes my good one.
Yeah, so go around your head, you know, lamp. But if you can get a bunch of them for really cheap, put them aside. Somebody that's that way. Just some certain things. These I thought were cool. You can get 10 for $1. I don't know how great they are, but they're for
cutting wood.
Yep. You unwind them, and it's a saw you put on the branch, you know. So I thought I'd throw that in there. But I'm just gonna skip ahead. Even hand sanitizer, extra. But there's another biggie. Soap for your morale. When you stay clean, you feel better. Just things to think about.
Where's that paracord bracelet?
Yep, the paracord bracelet here. You can get them online now, cheap. It's actually got the alert whistle. It has a compass and it has a built-in fire starter.
Yeah, it's got the flint striker in there. It's got the ferro rod.
And it's got a little tiny
fish hook
and a jig.
Not only that, guys, when I was making these, I want to say it's like 20 feet of paracord when this is unraveled. And you got to remember there's 14 strands per pair. I don't know if this is a good paracord, if it like we had, but I think if I remember right, there's between 12 and 14 strands of line in here on top of that. So you can do a lot with paracord besides just having this as a bracelet. There's multi-purposes if you're going to build a shelter and you need to tie down, or you want to, you know, stuff like that. This is a perfect way to do that. Is this all comes apart, and that's why they make these. They're not just for show and tell.
Exactly.
There's a purpose behind this.
Exactly. Here's another one I really wanted to share with
I thought this was really cool.
Now these you can get online, and you're better at explaining it, but this would be a major bargaining.
Oh yeah. You know what this is 40 heirloom vegetable strains. You can get these, they're non-GMO, and everybody knows that heirloom means that you can use the seeds again and again. So this right here is if you're in a permanent place and you want to start growing vegetables. There's asparagus, there's beans, beets, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cantaloupe, carrots, cauliflower, celery, collard greens, corn, cucumber, eggplant, honeydew, kale, and 3 different four lettuces, romaine, okra, onion, peas, pumpkin, radish, jalapeno peppers, cayenne peppers, sweet banana, then it's got rhubarb, your favorite.
Yeah.
Watermelon, turnips, red cherry tomatoes, and beef tomatoes, and then your chards. Now if you go and you look at each one of these that is on here, which kind of blew my mind when I saw this, is vegetables have great antioxidants and calcium and protein in each one of these. Like Swiss chard is calcium, and you have spinach, so you've got your iron and your protein. So this was very well thought out when they put this kit together, because it's very much multi-purpose. And but I would only, this would be, in my consider, would be a very high dollar
Oh yeah.
thing, because this is not something that I'm going to trade for a toothbrush.
No.
Or any of that kind of thing. I don't even think I would split this apart because of the value of this. And that's what I said before. Some of the stuff that's in here is very well thought out, and this is really cool because you can get these online, and they have the seed banks. I think.
This was I believe $25 or $28, but in times of collapse or whatnot, this is worth. It's priceless because it's food that's going to continue to feed your family.
Exactly. And this would be something where you would want to be in a situation where I'm going to be here for a while, because you don't want to be putting this in the fall, stuff like that. So, but yeah, you have, look at the amount of food that's in here. You know, this pretty much, besides the eggplant and honeydew, well, we do got honeydew too, but my size of my garden is right here in this box. Exactly. Or bag. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and like you say, you can grow them continuously, save the seeds. You know, find sales on batteries or whatnot. Some of this stuff is just to make you think, but to me, this is a biggie. Well, hold on one second. I had to throw you in a little silver.
Yeah, I
saw that. I love my silver. But silver is definitely going to be, when a dollar collapse, you know, if you start stocking up on silver. But something that I know is going to be worth more than silver and gold, and you can explain why. And
ammunition. Not only for hunting purposes, protection, but fire starting, any of that kind of thing, you can use with ammunition. And if you have this kind of weapon, and let's say you're walking around and you drop something, and you lost your ammunition, you know, you could, and not only a box, this is a box, you could go to individual and say, here's a shell, you know, or 2 shells. So there's 20 different options in one box.
There's a saying where the shot glass came from. It's back in the cowboy days when you know, money was tight, so to speak, I guess you would say. Cowboy or somebody would go in with a round, you know, 1 shot, and that would pay for 1 shot of whiskey, you know. So that's what that's what I hear. But me, what I do is I put, you know, 22 shells. I'll put them in, you know, a case like that, in a certain amount. But you'll be surprised, you know, for defense. But when it comes time, when everything kind of settles down, you know,
you can take a deer out with 22. So.
Exactly. You can protect your home. You can kill small game. You can feed your family. You know, if you're a good shot, you know, somebody just needs to barter 5 or 6. You know, they got a 22, but they can't find rounds, and you've got rounds. And but you need something. They got meat. So ammo's a big one. And these little cheap fire starters, you know, the flint rod. You can get 20 of them for $5 on eBay from China. You know, I don't know with them, you know, the tariffs or whatever, they're still going to be that cheap. But anyways, if you got a whole bunch of these, might be able to barter with those. These are just some ideas. But
and not only that is the container.
Oh yeah. See, I don't mean to cut you off, but these right here you get at Walmart from one of my sub-loyal / friends, works at Walmart too. These are the buckets that the icing comes in at the bakery, and you can get them for 99 cents. They wash them out and everything, or you know, sometimes cheaper. But they're great buckets. They're sealed tight, food grade buckets for storing. So is that what you were going to talk about? Still got candles and stuff.
And last but not least, the most important thing is can cooler.
That's true. That's the 9 lines can cooler.
You think about it though, is you want to get back closer back to home or something, how many times you sit there. I mean, obviously, I don't know if you're going to have a can of soda or a can of beer or whatever, and when you're in that kind of situation, you might. But it brings it some morale booster, and not only that is you can use it for something warming, I guess. You know, there's a thing too, the morale booster, stuff like that. So this is a really good multi-purpose kit. And the reason why we talked about this is it's really important to have this as a backup or a stash, however you want to look at it, bartering tool. And it's important if you guys can set yourself something up like this, because it's a very good idea. Put the things in there that you choose, that you think is important. Remember, fire, water, some way to boil something. You know, some of these things that would be totally off the wall is important, because like Justin said, a set of razors, it might be worth something a lot, and you're bartering that. So you're looking for something in return. So that's a really good idea. So thanks for coming by. And well,
yeah, I appreciate it. I don't know how I got here, and it was great seeing you all. And this is just, you know, some of the stuff seems common sense, or, you know, just think outside the box. It may look silly to some people, but this may be worth something to somebody big time. So anyways, I appreciate you having me. Is there a way you can send me back? I don't have my truck, I don't have my wallet,
magic fingers,
no money for a cab, so you send me back?
Yep.
All right, I'll get back to where I was at. So, well, have a great day, and it was awesome seeing you. Fear no man, never fear death. Get right with God, fight the good fight, and stay locked and loaded 100%.
See you later. So guys, he should be back home now. You guys all take care. God bless. Please share, like, and subscribe. Go check out Locked and Loaded's channel. Good friend, good man. You guys take care. God bless.